Hey y'all. Ooh. Welcome to episode 18 of Foot on Your Neck.
But our first time on YouTube.
Yeah, you can see us in the flesh, and I'm so excited because you missed so much. Okay.
I think our voices are enough. You don't think so?
No, they are, but they need to see some things.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, there's certain things that are just expressed through facial expression.
Yeah, actually, that's, for both of us, I would say very, notable, important to the conversation. Okay, anyway. Moving on. Yes. I'm Jonna.
I'm Nia.
You know what to do.
Yep, as always.
And what are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about Black capitalism. And I feel like this is something like all the topics that we talked about on our show, I feel like we've always stumbled into this a little bit, but we've never adequately addressed it.
And we've always wanted to talk about it though too, I would say.
It comes up because it's literally everywhere. Well, I mean, capitalism itself is everywhere, and then we're Black, so of course.
Black and capitalism, why not?
But anyways.
Yes.
So,
hello.
The reason why we are talking about this is because the corner of Twitter that we live in has been discussing this lately, and we'll put a tweet right here as reference. And I just think it's so interesting. So let's just get into it. But before we just dive into our opinions, we have a definition.
Yes.
A definition of off the internet of what Black capitalism is, but we'll dig into our own opinions about it. Tell people what the definition is.
So the definition from Wikipedia is that's a reliable source, okay? And I trust the definition. So it's a political movement among African Americans seeking to build wealth through the ownership and development of businesses, which I would say is a pretty comprehensive, an easy definition of what Black capitalism is.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's just, capitalism specific to our community, essentially, and
I think so too.
Yeah. Overall. Yeah. So
I think the thing that the definition is probably missing is I don't know. I feel like Black capitalism, I think of the word aspiration. Just aspirational. Because I think more so than the actual accruement or accruing of capital of Black people. Because Black people have always been all Blackness in and of itself is not disenfranchised. There were Black people who were in America, in the North America, who were not enslaved ever, but they were settlers, So not inherently Black people being without capital is a thing, but the aspirational, kind of the other side of the promise of the American dream, the promise of being rich, and I think that's a part of, or at least my interaction with the idea of Black capitalism. But that also has a lot to do, I think, also with businesses, Black-owned businesses and small businesses. But that's what I think of. I think of aspirations. Yeah,
that also, when you were speaking about that, it made me think of allure. It's very alluring to be rich and very I don't know, we tend to think that'll be the end all be all of our problems, but in terms of Black capitalism, there's a lot of other things, a lot of other social factors that contribute to why Black people aspire to be rich and have all these assets and be able to kind of into social acceptance as well. But that's a little bit
social acceptance. You're touching on
little. But that's what I think of as well with Black capitalism.
Yeah. And I think I don't know, I think when we were talking about how do we coming up with the talking points for this podcast episode, I was well, where did this notion of particularly Black capitalism come from, Because if you think about it, those two words together are very in a traditional, not even traditional, but just in a way of thinking could say that those two words being near each other are very radical, right? The fact that capitalism is built off of anti-Blackness and Black people's bodies across the world, and the fact that Black people can have capital in some shape or form could be seen as radical. Living that.
know.
living that. I don't know.
That was interesting.
I don't think that I feel particularly
that's not
that
my
way.
radical.
I understand that notion though. Because
yeah.
there is like, we can't deny the fact that capital has power. Because the world has been set up for it to be that way.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that that is the truth of our way of being. But I think the historical context is sometimes missing. But like, I don't know. I think particularly aspirational because like, 40 acres and a mule and like reparations and like reconstruction and all these like moments in like American history when Black people have been promised like independence, whether it's financially or like liberty, like fucking rights. Just rights. Niggas just want rights.
Rights alone.
Niggas just want rights. But
just
like
want to be counted as one whole person, not 3 fifths.
But like
5 out of 5.
And all of that has like, like been muddled together throughout history to create like this notion of like Black ownership and Black capitalism. And I think in the historical context, like when I was really thinking like, well, where the hell did this come from? And I couldn't really figure it out. And I'm still a little confused, but we'll talk through that. We'll talk.
What? Like,
we'll talk through that.
What do you mean? Like, what do you confuse? Like, how we came, like how Black capitalism came to be as like an idea in terms of...
In the context of like America?
Yeah.
Yes. Like, yes.
I think it wasn't even like... I don't think this has ever been like... I don't think everybody's looked into it as like some type of like idea. I feel like it was like a bunch of thoughts and then we like social media or just like... I feel like it's a newer term is kind of what I'm trying to say. Like we kind of combined all these like thoughts and ideas into one idea in terms of like Black capitalism because it comprises a lot of parts. Like it's not just like the idea of like, okay, well, like we're trying to like have wealth and like be wealthy and stuff, but it also means I don't even know where I was going with that, but like I feel like social media has allowed me to come up with a bigger definition of that, or like that's where I first seen the term, and like I don't know where I was going with that, but that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because in terms of Rock Nation Brunch Twitter is where I feel like I saw the term Black capitalism come about.
I think that's a good modern example.
Yes.
Yes. My problems with Rock Nation Brunch Twitter. Y'all motherfuckers always telling somebody how to do this. Do that. You gotta do this you gotta do this. Y'all niggas ain't working hard enough for me. If this pandemic didn't put the hustle in, y'all don't know what will.
Oh my God. I forgot. You just really...
It just... Rock Nation Brunch feels like
that's a part of it. Yeah.
Rock Nation Brunch, they sound like you need to...
always be doing something.
Make money or die. Like Matrix
hustle.
Type shit. Like if you're not making money, unplug. Like you don't deserve to live if you're not making money. Like... you out of here, you not making money, like, ding, like, but...
Yeah. Well, okay, let's define Rock Nation Brunch Twitter first, because I feel like that's, like, what does that even mean for those of y'all that aren't on Twitter or on social media? I'm sure you have seen someone say something of the likes of, like, oh, well, shit, I just started this LLC, and now I have all this money, so... look, you should do that too. Like, why aren't you doing that? Like, you work a 9 to 5, be Simone's ass. Like,
my God.
You work a 9 to 5. I don't want.
Like, like her quality is getting flamed. Yeah. Like her book.
Yeah, her book was really, really bad.
Terrible.
Newspaper, paper, bad. Like, but anyway.
Yeah,
but just like that's like the niche of like, and I feel like it occurs mainly on Twitter. It can occur anywhere, but that's like
particularly like Twitter, like celebrities.
Yes,
celebrities, and then there's the niggas on Twitter who just caping. Like
they don't
get invited to the
brunch.
Yes, no, they don't get invited to the brunch, but they are at the brunch in here.
Yes, mentally.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to a definition, or like a more concrete.
I think you explained it. It's just a group of a genre of thinking of people on the internet.
But also like that people that believe that Black capitalism is the only way for us to be like living in this world or engaging with like capitalism in a way that's like helpful to Black people. And I would say that's like the main.
And I think there's also this like I feel like a lot of times when I get into like I feel like I've had like conversations with people, and they're like, well, it's nothing wrong with being rich. Like when I talk about like celebrities who are rich and like, what are you doing, you know, whatever. And like they're like, well, it's nothing wrong with being rich.
There is actually.
But it is, and it's not even rich. Like the problem is rich. The problem is wealth, not belonging to the masses. And then the problem is also like just having that much money and not redistributing it. And it's also like not, the blame isn't to be pointed at one person. And that's why I particularly have a lot of empathy for black capitalists, because I'm not wanting to judge how you choose to survive a system that would rather see you dead.
Right.
I'm not judging you for that. But what I am judging you for is how, like, you know, not even judging you, but I know that, like, I would hope that I'm not fucking Jeff Bezos and I have billions and billions of dollars and, like, the world is, like, struggling right now and I do nothing with it but keep it. And that's particularly dangerous when there are people who look like me, who I know really need that. Like, their livelihood depends on it. So it's a particular disappointment that I have for black capitalists, but I also empathize. Like, I can't.
Right.
I'm not even mad at you, but I am going to critique you. Like,
I feel like
I'm going to critique you.
Right.
Because it's, and I don't know, I also feel like capitalism is so related to whiteness that, like, in order to be rich, in order to be wealthy, you have to exploit just as much. You have
the shuck and the jive.
You have to exploit people just as much as white people have in the past and continue to. You have to sometimes, you know, like, kill in one way or another, you know, hurt or harm people in a way that allows you to accrue that much wealth. And that is inhumane, no matter how you spin it.
Yeah. And you can't get away from that. Like, that's just how that's embedded in capitalism. That's a requirement.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with having money. You know what I mean? Like, having money is one thing.
Yeah.
Being rich and wealthy is another demonic thing. That's not having money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I have enough money to maintain my home and to send my kids to school and to have a car. You know, like, I have money to make life accessible, to live a life that is complete and at the level of, like, living, you know. But, like, anything beyond that, like, why you got a plane?
Yeah, why y'all got yachts?
And my thing is, if you gonna do that, rent it. Why are you buying a jet?
Yeah.
I don't get it, but moving on. We're moving on.
But I was going to say, I think the problem with, like, why there's, outside of, like, the structural, like, fundamental, like, problems of black capitalism, there's a problem because the people that are, like, avidly, like, promoting this type of lifestyle are kind of rude about it. Like, it's like, there's, like, attached some type of shame attached with, like, anybody doing anything else outside of, like, hustling and grinding. And that's really the issue. I feel like if you gonna do what you want to do, okay, do that over there, but, you know, you don't have to come with, like, shaming others for not wanting to engage in that type of, like, lifestyle.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I also think there's some, like, naivete. I don't know what the hell the word is, but naivete. You know, like, I think there's a naiveness. I'm going with that. If it's wrong, fight me. That comes with, like, Rock Nation Brunch Twitter, and the tweet that we were, like, that we referenced. Though? Maybe it is a little bit of ignorance, but I don't think so, because I think that. Let me explain it first.
Okay. Anyway,
I think that like, not saying that it's impossible for black people to be successful and to lead, like, to exist in positive and healthy ways within the structure of capitalism. People have done it, but it's hard as fuck because there are so many factors that are inherently put in place to make you, to literally kill you, not just physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it is. The system is trying to kill you. Don't forget that ever. So to still try to like maintain and say that we can, like, this can work, and, like, it's just, it feels
insulting almost.
It feels insulting, and maybe it is a little bit of ignorance, but I don't think that there's a black person walking around here who's, maybe there is, but majority of black people are walking around here talking about Rock Nation Brunch are very aware of the fact that their blackness makes it much harder for them, which is why they're screaming, you can do it, just get up, work hard, you know?
Yes.
So I wouldn't call it ignorance, just, like, naive, you know, and maybe the ignorance comes from just not being, like, well learned enough to know that like
this is not
but
ideal.
Then, then that also is a privilege of like education, you know?
Yeah.
And like that's why I'm like, I'm not judging you, because if getting money, however I get money is how I get money. I ain't finna. Yeah. Who am I to say you wrong? You know.
Right.
But I think that the larger price of it, when we talk about like the connectedness of and survival of Black people as a whole in this country, Black capitalism is not going to be the way for that.
Right,
you know.
Right. And I think it's like even more apparent in, I would say, people who have grown up poor or like grown up in low income environments. Because like I've never said that. I don't know if I've ever aspired to be a billionaire. I don't remember. I don't think that was one of my aspirations as a kid, but definitely is not now. But like, you know, just like recognizing that there's some type of disparity in like you being able to have money. So it's like, okay, whatever I can do like to get to the top, like I want to do that. Or like I feel like that's like the mentality that comes with like thinking that Black capitalism is the answer. Like, okay, shit, like I need money, like, you know, so by any means am I going to get that so that I can progress in life and get the resources that I need. So I think also in that it's like there's a bit of desperation like aspect of it.
Yeah, very much, you know?
So
very much so.
But
yeah, I think this topic is just really tough because
it's like, well, what is
so wrong? Yeah, because it's so, capitalism is wrong. I don't care how you spin it. I don't care what term you put in front of the word capitalism, after the word capitalism. It's bad because at the root of it, it monetizes people's labor, people's lives, people's pain, and makes it so that people can benefit off of that, and the people who aren't the people who are being exploited are not the people benefiting from that. That was like the most fucking complicated way to explain capitalism ever, but I think it made sense.
Just rewind if you didn't get it. Listen again. Yeah.
But you know, like the people who have the capital are not the people who benefit from it. And I don't care what industry you want to look at. Like, Black people are the people who are not benefiting from the work that they put in. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're a trash man. I don't care what you do or how you do it, but there's somebody who's benefiting off of, you know what I mean?
Yes. Like, I don't, this sounds pessimistic, but like, and I'm not in a pessimistic sense, but like, regardless, there's always going to be somebody exploited. Like, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. And it doesn't matter if it's Black, white, it's always going to be white, but any other descriptor in front of that, it's always going to be
no ethical way to validate people's exploitation for other people's gain. It's literally inhumane. And it's demonic. It's wrong. But I don't know. I feel like I need to really like drive home the difference between like money and rich and wealth. Because I think a lot of people.
I never thought of that.
I think that a lot of people feel like, because I feel like I've been in multiple conversations, been like, well, Black people just can't have money and do.
Okay, that's not okay.
First of all,
okay, that's not what nobody said.
And I'm like, I've never said nothing like that. So I look at people like that, like, is that what you think? Because I don't think that, like, when I'm critiquing people who have money.
That's equating.
It's not because I'm saying that, oh, Black people deserve to be poor.
Yeah.
And little do you know, babe, been there, done that. You know what I mean? So of course I don't think nobody deserves that, but
I can see. I see. Yes, I see. I definitely really understand that point.
I feel like I get this rebuttal a lot when I'm discussing Beyonce. Let's do a case study using the Queen Bee.
I just pause before you go. I just feel like Beyonce and Jay-Z are constantly brought up, or just like, how do we hold them accountable? Should we hold them accountable? Like, I don't know. Just always topic of conversation. A lot of people think Beyonce God. So if you don't like this, if you really love Beyonce, you think that she cannot do any wrong, then you need to click out of this video right motherfucking now.
Oh, I don't even.
Go ahead.
I don't even care about them no more because, yes, Beyonce is a talented vocalist. She's a talented woman. She's talented, but we can't ignore the fact that, like, in more ways than one, like, particularly thinking about just, like, the way that she goes about producing content. Black women have been exploited dark-skinned Black women have been exploited time and time again for not only her monetary gain, but Beyonce's social capital. Like, even that, like, we didn't even talk about that, but like that is an example of like the ways in which like even like capitalism, you got to do ugly things to maintain, you know, and stay on top, and that Black people are not excluded from that. And it's like, do we want to participate in that system? Like, we need to ask ourselves that.
Yeah.
Is that how we want our freedom? Can we buy our freedom? I don't think so.
I don't think
do
so.
You know how many stories there are of people, like slaves, like bartering and buying their freedom and still being enslaved? Like, we'd be fools. We'd be fools. We'd be fools to think that the system that was bought and paid for by our ancestors' blood and work would let us buy our way out. We'd literally be dumb to think that. We'd be so dumb.
I just know, yeah, you're right. Okay, that just made me think. My ancestors definitely did not slave away for me to buy my freedom. I don't think so.
Right?
I don't know. I don't think they did.
Right?
I personally, yeah.
Because it don't make no damn sense.
I don't think so at all.
It don't make no sense because they built this.
Yeah.
So why would we be able to buy our way out when they've been exploited? If we think really hard about the psychology of it, it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Just the way you're looking at me right now. It's very, very funny.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But that's not to say that like Black people will never have shit and don't deserve shit. But the way in which we do that is not through like promoting economical independence of Black people. And I'm not gonna be ignorant. I think that could help. I think it could be temporary relief. You know, like in this moment, we can't act like fundraising hasn't been a good resource for like allowing people to do more organizing work and more like freedom work. Yes, that's true. Though. Exactly.
That's
exactly.
That's
you
not...
will only be able to serve like you. It will never be. We will never get to liberation that is inclusive of everybody and everybody at their different identities if we don't look outside of capitalism.
Right.
You know, it's. I think it can only be temporary because money is temporary.
Right.
Like money is literally made to be spent. Yes. You know, it's not meant to be sustained and hoarded and kept. But. Y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
It needs to be distributed.
Y'all go ahead and fucking do Forex and Rock Nation brunch and all that. Go ahead.
Forex.
Let me not shit on Forex. I'm not gonna shit on Forex. Get your money how you live. I'm not one to judge, but
just don't be mean. I don't know. Me and my soft side, but it is just like the forcefulness. That's like that is really the issue.
Y'all trying to make some money?
Yeah, like goddamn. Like no, I'm not actually not do that way. Like you know, like just facing all the other bullshit. I don't need that on top of it. Personally, there's so many other things outside of having to. Anyway.
Yeah, no, you're very right.
But
yes, respectability politics.
That was our next point. And in terms of Black capitalists, they have not they. I don't want to talk about myself. I didn't do anyway.
This is where I get mad.
If you are going to succeed within capitalism, the way that like we know that Black billionaires have, there is some type of, to some degree, they have each played a role in like playing to respectability politics and like using that to leverage like being able to like climb like the social ladder.
To get more social capital that aligns them more closely to whiteness.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
You have to. That's literally the only way. Yeah. I feel like that's the only way.
You're right.
That's the only fucking way.
And it's just like that don't sit right with my spirit.
No,
like,
it shouldn't sit right with nobody's spirit.
That requires some type of dissonance though. Do you like
mentally, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to disconnect yourself away. Like I mean, like if you don't want that to align with like your personal values, you have to be able to separate yourself away from like, okay, well, this is me right here, and then this is me who I really am back here.
And that explains the meanness, you know, and the condescend, you know?
Yes.
Because it's like, I'm nowhere near, we're very, you know, me and this idea that I have with this person are very different, and I no longer identify with them. Mm-hmm. So I no longer need to have respect, which is respectability politics. I no longer need to maintain respect for them, or they don't deserve respect. They don't deserve XYZ because they don't fit into the mode of how I think about myself, the world, whatever, you know?
Right.
This is just where I get mad because I think the respectability politics of it all, this particular stench, this will be I think this is particularly the reason why like Black capitalism hinders liberation, because inherently just disenfranchises people who don't
Align.
aspire, don't attain, you know? Because it's like, and that's why I really like it, because like a lot of y'all are closer to being poor than ever being a millionaire.
Thank you,
which
Sage.
is a reality. That's a reality. And it's not a bad thing, because I thank God every day that I may not be rich, but I have had everything that I needed in this life to live a healthy and complete life up until this moment.
And better, like, I mean, not even better, but like, just, there's other definitions of rich. There's like kind of corny, but like, you may not be rich monetarily, but you're rich in other areas of your life. So like, you know,
no, exactly.
That's not always, like, money is not always everybody's aspirations to be like feeling that they have a complete life or like a nice life or whatever you like want to classify yourself as.
Because even beyond the individual, like, shaming that respectability politics utilizes to shame people, that was a crazy word. Even beyond the individualized shaming that it uses to weaponize. Why did I say that sentence over again? That it weaponizes shaming to make people feel unworthy. And even beyond that, it shames community building, if we think really hard about it, because like the fact that I feel like I've had a good and complete life has never been due to the fact that I've had money. Because a bitch ain't never really had money like that. But I've had money when I've needed it, you know? And luckily, like, there have been times when I haven't had enough money and I haven't been able to do X, Y, Z. But that didn't, like, my life did not end. And that's a reality for some people. You know, like, my life didn't end. And I had a community of people around me who were able to support me in various ways, you know?
Yes.
And respectability politics looks kind of like disenfranchises that, because that's poor people. That's people who are marginalized, who are the other, who are finding ways to maintain in the system while you sitting over here yelling, y'all ain't working hard enough, y'all ain't making money, y'all need to grind. This pandemic, pandemic didn't bring the hustle out of you, that ain't it. Like, you're completely not understanding the cultural context of this moment of COVID or the history of America. You're not getting it, you know? You're not getting it.
Also negating the fact that whoever this person is, whoever, whatever, you're not getting there on your own. Like, and that implies that you have not had a community, a village of people, people who you don't and do not know. Yes. Not only people, but like yes, you have all these entities behind you that have gotten you to the point where you are now. So that's my point. Like, you know, it really enforces the idea of individualism and like that's another form of dissonance.
Yes. Oh, the dissonance. I have a special message. I have a special message for all you niggas who think you're self-made. Have fun at the top.
Message.
Have fun at the top. You're so self-made. How disrespectful.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's your mother? The disrespect. But go ahead, though. They're going to be mad at us. They're going to be mad at us. I'm not even saying I want none of your coin, but you're so not self-made. Yeah. There are so many people before you, around you, and who will come after you have made sacrifices that have allowed you to be in more ways than one.
Yes.
So how dare you? How dare you? And I particularly get really upset when, like, black people say that. Because, I mean, like, yes. But no, let's not negate the fact that there are, like, really hard intrapersonal challenges that people go through. And those are very valid, but I have to also acknowledge the fact that there are particular circumstances that I would not have been able to overcome with just my sheer, mental, physical strength and being. No, absolutely not.
It's just not possible.
That's impossible. Yeah. Like my answer said, can't nobody make it out here alone.
And we're not even designed to be that way.
At all.
Never been designed to be that way.
It's so inhumane. Once again, inhumane. The individual, like the individual dream,
Yeah.
of like, I'm rich and I did this and I did that. Like,
and that's why Jeff Bezos is going to hell.
Yeah, y'all. If we wasn't nicer, if we were not nice, y'all would be on the guillotine. And some people out there want y'all to go. Some people want y'all to go.
Yeah. Are you talking about black capitalists?
I mean,
Good.
capitalists, period.
I mean,
Some of the black capitalists might have to go too if you ain't with the program.
But I mean,
I don't think Kanye's gonna make it.
They lower on the list.
No, they are. They are.
He need to give us his 14 horses. I will say that. I will say that.
I'm not. They are lower on the list.
Yes.
That's why I'm like, I'm not coming for y'all, but like
at the same time, that you're right. There's
I have respect for you wanting. I can't disrespect how you're choosing to survive capitalism, but I have my opinions on it. Like, you're not self-made, but I'm really proud that you achieved this accomplishment.
Right.
But you're not self-made, boo. You know, like. I'm never finna say I'm not proud of a black person doing whatever a black person doing. As long as it's not, if you on some weirdo shit, some cognitive dissonance craziness, I'm not with that. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying like when you make achievements as a black person that allow you to get money. Like, Issa Rae is, I don't know if she rich or not, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm not mad at her at all. Yeah. Do what you gotta do, sis.
Yeah. But
still, like, let's think about it. Let's do some critical analysis, and a lot of y'all are afraid of that. Critical analysis won't kill you. It won't. I promise.
Oh God.
I gotta stop leading to this.
You put a really important point on here, just towards our the end, but in the overarching question is, should we entertain black capitalism as a means of our liberation? And under that, it says, is black power the same as black capitalism? And like equating those two. And I don't think so at all. We don't have to like you know, determine our value in terms of like white ideals, which are capitalism. In like, you know, like that's power and capitalism like are two very like they like overlap, but if we're thinking about in terms of liberation, that's not the same thing. Like, I don't think so at all.
When true liberation and freedom are achieved, it will not be because we bought it. I feel like I had a Dr. Umar.
Yeah, you did. It was really quiet. That was perfect. That was good.
Like, money is only a resource. It will not be our gateway to freedom.
That was good.
Money
Write that down.
Yeah, but even just thinking about the nature of money.
Yeah.
Like, money is only made to be spent. Money, once you, like, say, like, if, like, okay, I'm saving all this money. Like, yeah, I'm saving money in the event of an emergency. But if I get to the end of my life and an emergency never came, how useless was it to save all that money, you know? Like, it's made to be spent, which is why it's a problem when money hinders people from experiences and from living their lives. It's a problem when I don't have money to feed myself, or to have a house to live in, or to have gas, lights, whatever. You know, it's a problem when I don't have money and I want to enjoy something. You know, like, I want to take a yoga class. I need money to do that. I should have money to do that. I should have money to enjoy my life, but not money to have capital to exploit
just
people.
To keep in your pocket.
That's not it.
That's not it. Think for a second. Like,
that's not it.
Yeah, I have $1 billion so that I could just do whatever at any time. Like, that's really like, oh my God, just the way that, sorry, I'm just really having a moment right now.
I don't get it. I really just, I don't understand
that's white people's freedom.
Yeah.
That's freedom.
Even on a level, like on a philosophical level of how money works, I don't get that. I really don't, because all that money can do for me is allow me to experience things.
Right.
But I think for a lot of people, money is ego. But I will never, let me not say never, but God, please, let me never resonate with that, because at that point, you're gone, babe. You're so gone. And money is just a resource. And if money is just so far from how we're going to get our liberation, that's why it's like, I want y'all to come back. I want you to come back. Please come back. Because, and I think, like, black power is not at all equal to
No,
black liberation.
It's really not. There's more power in community than there will ever be in capitalism. That's just one thing.
Ooh, that's
but
good. That's good.
That's our power. That's where we.
That's good.
You know, us in numbers. Not like, okay, I'm not that feel a little hotepy right now, but just like community.
No, but that period. I mean, that's true. That hoteps are not it, but that's the truth. You know.
Yes. That's
the truth. But I'm also not gonna like I said before, I'm not gonna negate the fact that there is some like true validity and even like possible opportunity for like wins on the way to liberation that Black, like the ideology around Black capitalism could mean, you know, like that could allow us to get to leverage our, I don't know, maybe this is wrong, but I mean, I don't know, it's not 100% off base when we're talking about how, like, the ways in which we can navigate freedom, because I don't know how the fuck we're gonna get there. I don't think there's nobody who really knows 100%.
Yeah.
But I think that like economical independence might be one of those ways. But I think that
it's the first way though?
No, but I mean I don't know, because like in our weapons episode we talked about the fact that like Black women, Black people need weapons to protect ourselves. Mm-hmm. And like a gun like is the only, you know what I mean? Like Black people having guns is a way of doing that. So Black people having money in some way could also be, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Which
is why I'm like, I'm not pressing nobody who's using money to navigate their way through the system.
Yeah, I was about to say, but that also goes back to your original point in terms of like being money and rich and wealthy.
Exactly.
There's a difference.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like money to get us out of the system. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which means you're probably redistributing your wealth. Yes. Are y'all doing that? No. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, you know, I don't know. I think it can be played with. Like, it's not 100% off, but it's the way y'all doing it just not working for me. It's really, yeah. It don't work. It don't work for me. It don't work.
Taxing.
Yeah, no.
We don't like that.
It stinks.
So.
Yeah, the ethics are off. Morals. The bar is on the floor. The roof is the ceiling. Like.
In conclusion. So, are we mad about it?
Are we mad at it?
Are we mad at it?
I'm mad about it. It's a no from me.
As long as Rock Nation Brunch Twitter is gonna come under Sage's tweet and say, if the world is abundant, if you believe the world is abundant, then it is. If you believe that it's not, then it isn't. As long as they keep doing that, I'm gonna be mad. Yeah, I think so. No, yes. Until it's a more commonly
that quote in the context of money is disgusting. Yeah, but I think in terms of like how we approach the universe and spirituality, that's a beautiful quote. But that in the
it's not that doesn't align with not that spirituality manifestation lining up with
that's
money.
That's even dumb because there's no lack of abundance of money. You dumb. You really don't understand it. Because there's no lack of abundance of money. There's hoarding of money. There's Jeff Bezos who has a significant portion of the abundance that the people are lacking. And then they're going to be mad when he get beheaded. Beheaded. The problem is not abundance.
Right.
It's the hoarding.
You're right.
The hoarding is going to get y'all sent to hell. Yeah.
Quickly.
We're going to hell with gasoline draws on. I swear.
Dipped in gasoline.
Anyways.
Like a turkey. I don't know.
I'm like, who's dipping a turkey in gasoline?
Don't worry about it.
Anyways, we're moving on.
I don't know, like a chicken.
We're moving on.
Rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, I'm mad at it. I'm mad. It makes me really, it just really makes me mad because...
It hurts my feelings.
It hurts my feelings because I think about like people who are authentically, truly surviving.
Yeah.
Literally just surviving.
Just to have somebody in their face like,
how disrespectful.
You ain't hustling hard enough.
How disrespectful. Like, you're very close to being a coon when you do that.
If not...
if you mix that thought with some other thoughts, if you on some other shit too, then you probably are. But very close. Like, I think we can reel you back in, so I'm not going to call you a coon, but...
Conquer our own negativity.
Not an acronym for coon.
Right here.
Acronym for coon.
Did you not see that today?
No, I did. Yeah. No, I did. Oh, Jesus.
Jesus. Negativity. Recite that every day. I'm just kidding. Please don't.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that. But that was just funny.
Read. There's this really cool movie. I mean,
I think we all need to tap into communism and read like, I feel like, are there black, there has to be black communists.
I feel like somebody sent me a
literature.
Google Drive link with a whole bunch of like Marxist, like
Yeah.
black text around like Marxism. There's a title that's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't. Anyways, we'll probably link it. We'll link it in the YouTube description.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm going to find it because it's on the tip of my tongue. But there's this really cool movie. It has some black actors in it, but particularly I think this movie is really great because of Meryl Streep. I love her.
I like Meryl Streep as well.
Fight me.
It's hard to admit that you like white people. Personally.
I'll die on the Meryl Streep hill. That woman
hard.
is talented.
I mean, yes, there is no denial of her talent.
But there's a movie called The Laundromat.
Mm-hmm.
The Laundromat, and it talks a lot about like fraud and money and all that. But if you want something to do in quarantine, watch Laundromat. The Laundromat. It's on Netflix.
I'll probably
Beautiful movie. It talks a lot about like money and capitalism, and yeah, it's not related to blackness in any way, but it's a good movie and it has a lot to do with what we discussed.
The Laundromat on Netflix.
Yes.
So we're gonna close this out. I hope y'all enjoyed this very lively discussion, and it like promotes your thoughts and thinks about and make you think about the ways, if you are a black entrepreneur or just like
which is
a beautiful thing, or just like, you know, ways in which that we participate in this type of
your
terrible culture.
like your business below.
Yes, put your Instagrams and your Twitters and stuff.
The services you provide.
Yes.
Because that's amazing.
And that's important.
Great. Mm-hmm.
It's still
get
important.
Get your coin.
Yes.
Black women in films only, please. No other businesses are allowed on our comment thread.
You heard her. And that's our philosophy. That's the baseline of Foot on Your Neck. If you don't know what it is, you need to go back and listen to our first episode on Spotify.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
So our final segment, because we always get sidetracked when we be starting sentences.
We do.
Our final segment, put your name on it, okay?
I love this segment.
We are claiming and manifesting all the blessings that are going to fall in abundance on us between now and next week or whenever the Lord sees fit.
If you believe the world is abundant, it is.
I think that's a good one. I think we should hold on to that.
I know. I love the idea of abundance, but don't tell me that shit in the context.
No, that was a terrible context. But I'm going to really insert that into our put your name on it. Abundance. Abundance.
Abundance.
And if all you hear when you hear abundance is the word money, you got some deep digging. And I'm deep digging with you, but let's go, because abundance of the mind, the heart, the spirit, love, creativity, grace. Come on now. Abundance. I like that word. That's my word. We're repurposing it. That's mine.
You just reminded me, but I also just want to reel this point in. Capitalism lacks love. I've been reading all about love, and Bell Hooks Smith's girl, but really went into why, like how that's embedded into our culture, and why our culture, like in terms of like Western culture, lacks a lot of. If
you don't have money, you don't deserve a house.
Yeah, like
if you lack money, you don't deserve health care.
Yeah,
you don't deserve partnership.
And that's lack of love and care of other individuals for their well-being and wholeness.
Right, really makes me sick to my stomach.
So yes, abundance and love. I love that.
Abundance and love. Those are we're putting our name on.
Yes.
Put your name on it. Those are the two we claiming this week.
Definitely. Yeah.
Y'all, this
is so fun.
I know.
I'm having so much fun and learning a lot.
Yeah.
As we're
discussing. Yeah, I feel like I learned a lot of new thoughts today.
Yes.
I'm glad y'all were here to witness them in real time. This is our first go. You're going to see us again next week on Foot on Your Neck Fridays. And if you're watching, please share. Send it to a friend. We're open for dialogue.
Yes. I was just saying, and discuss with us.
Please feel free to challenge us.
Yeah.
I love
send us a DM. We could talk.
We can go.
You
can come on the show.
Yes.
We can do Instagram Live.
Yes, another Instagram Live. I think that would be even better.
We're so down to engage however you would like to engage, with respect to your respect of this space being particularly for Black women and femmes.
Think about that before you
engage.
Decide before you engage, and think about your positionality as well. So,
not saying that I'm okay to answer some DMs from some men, but is your pedagogy all there?
Yeah, come respectful.
Are you there? And I don't have time to do that kind of education. So therefore, we'll see y'all in episode 19 of Foot on Your Neck. Applying the pressure like we always do.
Subscribe.
Bye, y'all.